And right away we run into problems. It's a great start. There we go. Maybe that works without a problem. Misconfigured. I don't see any problem. I think. Okay. Okay. So, first things first, we are gonna drive, well, Riverside as a track is new for me. So, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, we're gonna run a benchmark with a modern supercar. Quote unquote modern as I can basically get in good old Assetto Corsa. So Lamborghini Huracan Performante it is. I'm gonna drive a few test laps as well, so we'll see if everything works correctly. Right away, no. I am ill prepared. I need to configure controls. There we go. I don't have an H pattern shifter, sadly. I don't think we need that, but I'm still gonna put that there. Also, secondary. I don't think I need to change these, but I am gonna. Just assign them. Main controls. Shifters. Separate. I'm gonna use the stick. Am I gonna use the stick? I'm gonna put that over there as well. Now it should be all good. Yes. It's not every day that I play this game, so I was a bit ill prepared. again, I forgot something. I needed to change the goddamn buttons. This is a great start. Riveting gameplay. Secondary. Advanced. Oh, there. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Maybe now. We're okay. So, a few laps with the Huracan. Gonna move these. Okay. That's a great start. Still getting used to it. Understeer. Surprising amount of understeer. Yeah, definitely still new to this track. Which is kind of sad because this track doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm way late. I think this doesn't exist, I'm pretty sure. I'm not good at history. Feels weird to drive a modern car in the old bumpy circuit. There we go. God damn it! I lost the back end there. And again, not a good lap. On the limiter on the straight. One hot lap. That's gonna be the benchmark. If I can keep it on the road, I mean. Bit more careful through here now. A bit deep there. We're okay. .286 in the straight. .151.03. That's the benchmark. I need to make a list. A moment. Very professional. Yep. Here it is. Okay. Then here's the pack. WSC Legends. So this amount of cars. I went ahead and made a spinny spin. So let's see what we get. Yay! Ford GT Mark IV. So it's this one. I'm supposed to open it right here. Perhaps the most significant post-war American race car ever produced was Ford's Mark IV GT40. Yeah. Weighs a ton, just Exactly 1 ton and 530 horsepower. Top speed over 340. So, in theory, this is way faster. Actually, the power input is kind of similar. It's a little bit less. Hello, Pigman Man. I was wondering if you'd showed up. Nice to see you here. Yeah, this is definitely a work of art. This whole pack is a work of art. I wish I could actually tell more about these cars. Of course, there's the text here. But I am horrible at reading everything and even more horrible at learning anything, so I can't just off the top of my head tell much about this thing. But well, it is a work of art. Definitely from the work of art. From the English. Actually, give me a little moment. Well, schedule is a schedule. You have work to do and work has to be done, so. Nice to see you here. It's been a while. It's been a long while. But well, you're here now. That's the main thing. Yeah. So a Wheel of Legends decided for us. These are all, 1967. Let's drive the number 1 car, Dan Gurney and AJ Foyt. Foyt? I guess that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, in theory, this should be quicker. So in case you missed it, Pigman, the benchmark time is here. 151.038 by a modern supercar. We'll see if my predictions are even nearly correct. I'm not sure if you can be faster with these old cars. 640 horsepower. It is a slight bit more powerful. Also, I think a lot better to drive. But it's a street car, so. So, the Wheel of Legends gave us the 1967 Ford GT40 Mark IV. So that's what we're gonna go with. Riverside long. Not sure how many laps I'm gonna do. We'll see. Definitely have to rein in this car. It's gonna be a whole lot different to drive than the Lambo. Way more exciting, if you ask me. Can I actually... No. That's the wrong one. There we go. Lap time. We put that in there so it's not just on my face all the time. Gonna put that in there. I think that's it. I think. Okay. That sound. That is a beast of a car. It might be easier to drive in this position. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try from this. We have 4 gears. Right. Actually, that's... I'm gonna move this. There. And I can see the gear count. I don't have an H pattern shifter, so... It's gonna be weird to drive an old car with a sequential, but... 4 gears. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna definitely spin. It's gonna take some time to get used to this car, but let's see. Oh, yep. Lock up. Damn it. Almost 200 with the second gear. And the lockup. Damn it. It's gonna take some time to get used to this. On the back straight. I don't think I can go flat out here. I am new to this track in case you can't tell. And the car is very rowdy. Understeer. God damn it. Slide. Come on. Oh shit. Damn it. Ugh. Not too bad for being new to the track. Yeah, I haven't hit the wall, and that was the first spin with this car. God damn it. These Legends things are awesome, but they take some time to get used to. Because it's almost 600 horsepower with 60s brakes and tires. I don't think I can go flat out through this. And I'll lock up on the wheels. To the banked corner. Try to cut it in. There we go. I definitely need better pedals for my rig. God damn it! Fuck! Yeah. These cars do this. There's just... You gotta be very aware of the tail end of the car. It wants to kick. Yep. That's true. Not sure if I have the skill to tame these things at all, but I am gonna try my best. Can I go flat out here? Just about. Nope. You were saying about hitting the wall. I think I need to restart. I think the car might be... Yeah, let's go back to the pits. Oh yeah, this thing takes a while. See if I can actually do a decent lap with this car at all. Some of these Legends cars are easier to drive. I'm gonna try this camera this time. Maybe I can drive better in here. Like the camera angle does anything. We'll see. And a lock up in the entry. Just try to keep it sliding. It's a bit better, I think. Okay, let's not go flat out to the corner. I can, but then I run out of room to brake. A difficult corner because there's the hill, the bump. Race drivers of the 60s, by the way, the times were mad. Like, yes, cars in these days are much faster than what they were back then, but there's just a certain charm to these old things. Just the raw power, the noise, everything. Too much on the inside. Gonna try and cut here. Back on the power. There we go. That was a decent lap. Oh shit. A bit deep on there. Let's try and go for a fast lap here. I can tell you, it's not easy. I am being way more careful than I actually should. I could go faster, but I am very much getting used to the car. Ah, shit! Damn it! It was a stupid thing to do. The lockup. Because I have the brake pedal in my sim rig is not good. It's very hard to get used to the brakes. I don't really have the feel for it. Not yet, at least. But with a pedal like this, it is difficult with any car, especially with these old machines. bit early on the brakes there, but... Damn it! That was a... that was an amateur mistake. I did not give enough bleep for the throttle on the downshift. €5, by the way. Come on! Ah, shit. It's not going well. I am not doing very strongly for myself here. So if you came to see professional driving, I'm gonna have to disappoint you a little bit. Doing some stupid mistakes. Okay, let's go for one fast lap. Just focus. Second gear out the corner. It's not going well. I cut the corner just a bit. Okay. Well, you're in the wrong place, man. I do feel like I am not the worst driver in the world, but it is definitely gonna take some time to get used to in these cars. Let's actually try and go for one fast lap. So, gonna do an out lap here and then go for one hot lap. Braking spots are difficult with these things because of the 60s brakes and tires. There's a whole lot of understeer. And when you step on it, there's a whole lot of oversteer. So, gonna really have to be on it. God damn it. Pretty much all the time on the verge of losing it. It is very difficult. Skill issue, definitely. I'm not saying that you can really be fast with this kind of car. I'm just haven't done it enough to actually be faster. This was an okay lap as far. Let's not miss the last corner. .542. It is not faster than the modern Huracan Performante. Or, well, it might be, but I'm not. Just gonna be completely honest here. I could do better, but also I could do better with the Huracan, so my prediction of what could be a good benchmark might be off. But, well, we have something to reach to here. Just gonna do an outlap from this camera, because I love the way this car looks and sounds. By the way, you can see the dimple on the hood on the right side. The car is so low that there has to be a dimple on the roof so that the driver doesn't hit his head on the roof. So yeah, this thing is low. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the original Ford GT might very well be one of the lowest cars ever produced. It is very low. Just open up. There we go. Didn't need to downshift to the first gear. I just did because I was dumb. There we are. Ford GT Mark IV. So the best lap that I got with this car was 158.5. And like the professional streamer that I am, no, I'm not. I'm gonna pull out the list and put it in here. There we go. Next one. We're gonna spin the Wheel of Legend. Just Lotus. I'm actually gonna write it down. Lotus 47 GT. Very professional. So that would be here. This is very different. Very, very different. 180 horsepower. So this is not gonna be as rowdy, I hope. Although this weighs almost half of the GT, so this is very light compared to the GT. Not actually sure. I'm guessing this has a 4-cylinder engine. Does it tell? I am not sure. Ryunosuke Takano, Japan. Well, there's a lot of this. Sebring. There's a lot of skins. I mean liveries. Of course we're gonna pick something green because this thing is British. Nürburgring 500 from 68. Let's go with Le Mans 67. Le Mans 24 hours. Actually, what is this? It's just awesome liveries. Branch hatch 6 hours from 68. Watkins Glen 6 hours. Let's go with the number 44, Le Mans 1967. Or Le Mans, as we Finnish people say. Europa featured a relatively docile Renault engine and gearbox, whereas the competition car boasted the latest version of the Ford Cosworth-based twin-cam engine, mated to a Hewland FT200 gearbox, initially equipped with Weber carburetors, but later also sporting a fuel injection system. 1.6-liter 4 was a good around 165 horsepower. There's a lot of facts and info about this car. The featherweight Type 47. Yeah, 550 kilos. It is light. Pretty much completely different than what the GT was like. This, well, it's a Lotus, so I'm guessing it's gonna be fast. But way lighter and way less power. We'll see. We'll see what we do with this. Driving these things is a real workout. Also, as I said before, it's kind of weird to drive a legendary car like this, an old car with a sequential gear shifter, but that's the only thing I have, so other possibility would be paddles, but that's even more far-fetched, so we're gonna use this sequential. If you want me to drive with an H pattern, you can always buy me one. That's a joke. I mean, you can, but I'm definitely not saying you should. Well, Lotus 47 GT. Engine note? Yeah, this. Not as exciting, I'm telling you. Still, I think this will be fast. Let's go. How many gears? I don't think we need the top. That's 5. I don't think we need more than 4 in this track. Definitely different than the GT. I think this is gonna be faster in my hands. Still not used to this corner. It's a weird corner for me. Oh yeah, this is way slower on the straight. But way easier to drive. Oh yeah. Very different. Very different. Not nearly as quick on the straight, but way easier to drive on the corners, so I think I will be doing better with this. Which is kinda sad. That's... Doesn't mean that I still can't suck driving this thing. Still getting used to the track. I'm a slow learner, it seems. That was dumb. Way too late on the brakes. Also, I messed up with the downshift. Well, this is just the third lap, so... .230, just about on the back straight, which is not a lot. For comparison, the Huracan, the Lambo, with Lambo I got 286 Ks. And I think the Ford GT broke 290. If I remember correctly. It's a difficult corner for me. The upcoming corner is difficult for me as well. It's hard to get the braking point correct here. Too hard. Again. Very dumb mistake, but well. Sometimes we people do mistakes. Make mistakes. I got on a throttle way too early there. It's not going well. There we go. We can do a fast lap here. Understeer. A whole lot of it. Too early on the brakes again. This corner is weird. Open up the 180 horsepower four-banger. They can easily go flat out through this corner. Need to get the line correct. There we go. Just touch the dirt a little bit. Too early on the brakes again. It would take more than 6 to 7, like under 10 laps to get actually used to this car, but we are gonna leave it here with this thing. 205.567. This is a little pocket rocket. Actually, I would even say this thing is kind of easy to drive because of the low horsepower and the light weight. It is a little fiddly. It does some squiggling on the under braking and all that, but you can get on a power very early and it's not gonna just spin out. Way easier to drive than the GT. Not as fast. Not even nearly. Like, I feel like I'm going faster than what the GT did, but it just isn't faster. Lotus 47 GT. I'm sweating. It's pretty hot in here. Oh, 204.706 was the fastest lap. The second lap was the fastest. That's kind of weird. Okay. Let's see what the Wheel of Legends gives us now. Next car. It's lagging. That's gonna be... I don't know if this ISO Grifo A3/C. It's a bit of a weird one. What even is this? Like, what is it based on? Okay, 1962. Renzo Rivolta, who was turning his ESO company into a manufacturer of sports cars. Pisorini's first job was to help develop a sophisticated platform chassis for the ISO Rivolta 2+2 Coupe, when he was commissioned to turn the ISO Grifo A3/L two-seater into a race-winning machine. This was most certainly more up his alley. Pretty much independent from ISO, he conceived the exceptionally low A3/C. That was an ISO Grifo in name only. That's an interesting thing. One of the Pisorini's priorities had always been to mount the engine as far back in the chassis for a good weight balance, and with the A3/C he took it one step further. The engine protruded so far into the cabin as far back? Oh, I'm an idiot. It's a front engine. Of course. I was wondering why the hell would you put the engine as far back, like... Yeah, Porsches are fast, but yeah, it's a front engine. Yeah, it as far back as possible. That makes sense. Protruded so back far into the cabin that the distributors had to be accessed through small latches in the dashboard. The engine itself was a Corvette-derived V8 that in competition spec produced an impressive 405 brake horsepower. Pisarini worked in close cooperation with Bertones Giorgetto Giugiaro. I definitely butchering those names. To sculpt the A3C's aluminium skin. Being a racing car, the main priority was to create as little frontal area as possible, but nevertheless the result was quite pleasing to the eye. Drogo constructed the body for Pisarini. That, like, without this pack, I'd have no idea about this car. Sebring. Chevrolet. Targa Florio, 1966. Now that's a track. 1964 Le Mans. Let's use this. Sebring 12 hours, 1964. 405 brake horsepower. This is a little heavier than the Ford GT. 305 top speed. It's a front-engined V8. The only displacement, the only layout, the only right layout for the engine, by the way. If it's not a V8, I don't want it. Not really. There are more great engines than just V8, but V8 is the king in my eyes. And ears. Okay. Is ISO Grifo? ISO? I don't know. Holy shit, I need to change the wheel. We are missing one car because I forgot it. Here. We're missing the Corvette Grand Sport. There we go. No longer missing. Okay. So, just over 400 horsepower. How's the sound? Beefy. This is gonna be more of a handful, I think, than the Lotus. Oh, I love the sound this car makes. The popping. That's a bit too fast. I missed the... I missed the downshift. Like the pleb I am. Third gear in there. Too late for the brakes. I was just gonna say, this thing... Not a lot of lockup on the brakes in this car. Maybe I'm just not braking hard enough. Again, much easier to drive than the Ford GT. Still, I don't think this is as fast. a little bit too fast in there, but doesn't matter. This thing has good brakes. No lockups, surprisingly. Maybe I am very light on the brake pedal with these cars, so could be braking much with a much bigger force than what I am. I'm still very bad at that corner. Like with every corner, but especially that. Little look up on the hill there. Back on the power. I'm very quiet because I'm concentrating on the driving of this car, so not much commentary I can really make here. Skill issue, that as well. Oh, come on. Turn. This, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but this is kind of easy to drive. I like it. Also, I like the sound. Right on the wall there. Try to hook it in. There we go, open up the power. Little slide. There we go, that was a good lap. Oh yeah. This is a great mod pack. Not only Assetto Corsa is a great base, but modders have done very well for themselves. The look, the detail, everything in these cars. And the sound. Cars actually do sound different, not just a generic engine sound here. Yeah, can't say that I have heard either, but yeah, I do like that the cars sound different. This is V8 like the GT, but this is different kind of V8. V8 is a screamer, definitely. Likes the rev. This is much lower when it comes to revs. Wait, as I get to the pit lane, I'm gonna read the comment. I'm too much of a pleb to do it while driving. Also, let's open up one more time from this perspective. Thought Forza did an alright job at first, then realized that's just a few different engine sounds and only one or two sound good. Yeah, I have only played one Forza game ever. And I did hear that the earlier Forza games did very good job with the engine sounds. Like the earlier Need for Speed games did very good job in the engine sounds, but yeah, Forza is... There's a lot of same sounding cars in there. There is a lot of same sounding cars in the modding scene of the Assetto Corsa as well, but there's a good variety. Still, like, things do sound different. It's not just generic V8 sound. Like, this sounds completely different than the GT. Even though the engine is... Well, it's not the same, but it's a V8. So that's ISO Grifo. That was a little faster than the Lotus. Not a whole lot, but a little. .202. A2. A lot of twos. I would actually say if you are starting with these kind of cars, like you download this pack and you want to start with something, I think the Grifo would be a great one to start, because it is quick, but it's relatively easy to drive. It's not like the GT, which pretty much just slide and pray every direction. I love the car, but it is difficult to drive. Okay. Wheel of Legends. What will we drive next? A Porsche. Porsche 904-8. Porsches are on the other side. 904/8. Right? Yes. Again. Messing up here. Today, the 904 or Carrera GTS remain as one of the finest and most successful Porsches ever constructed. This is again seems much more tame on the paper. Oh, I'm guessing this has a boxer. Two of the works cars were fitted with a 2-liter version of the Formula 1 racer's 8-cylinder engine, and later in the year, the 6-cylinder engine finally made into its introduction. So it's 6 cylinders. I'm guessing. You can fact check me. I'm not good at this. Targa Florio 85 and 84. Le Mans 24 hours. Let's test something different. Nürburgring 1000 kilometers, 1966. That's a backup car. Le Mans 64. go with this. So yeah, Forza did a good job at first, but then they kind of just half-assed it. As much as I know about that, as I said, I have never really played only one Forza game. The popping sounds cool. Oh yeah. It's a flat 6, I think. Can it be? It's an F1 derivative engine. Derivative? Is that the right word? I'm not sure. It is a V6 if it's not a flat, it's a V. I'm guessing it's a flat. Also, this thing likes to rev. Almost 9,000. Well, let's go. A Porsche. I already forgot the make and model. Porsche. Was it 906? It's gonna null me to death if I don't check.